Ready. Okay, welcome everybody to this Drops of Wisdom class. I'm so happy to be joining again this very special place or space that YSI created for us. Thank you, all the organization for having this class, all the translators for being our voice. And today we have a very special topic that is faith. Some of you already know it. And when I was invited to give another drop of wisdom, it like popped in my mind instantly. I will talk about faith. And maybe because faith has such an important role in my life, and also because I like challenges, and I know it's a challenging topic to talk about. Faith for me is something that goes beyond words and has to do more about trying to express something that is unexpressible. And then almost immediately, I thought of sharing this talk with Paz, who is here with us today. Paz is a yoga teacher. She lives in Argentina. She's an amazing yoga teacher. She's creative. She's curious. She's wise, and she has been studying wisdom since a very, very long time. And she's also very resilient and brave. And I know that faith is a very important topic in her life too, as in mine. So for me, it's such an honor to be sharing this class with her today. And let's welcome her and Paz. The screen is all yours.
Thank you so much, Tere. For me, it was very challenging. And I'm very grateful because I learned a lot by thinking about this talk and going deeper in something in my life that maybe I had taken for granted. Like it was always there. So I never really looked at it carefully. So it has been an opportunity to deepen my understanding about it and getting more connected to that feeling or that sense of this experience. So thank you very much. And as I was thinking about this talk, the first thing that came into my mind was being grateful to you, to all of you, because as Tere said, I am a yoga teacher, and I always tell my students that if I could be the greatest teacher in the world, okay, the greatest. But if there are no students, there is no class. And I really love teaching. So, and if there is no class, there is no teacher. So I am extremely grateful for you for being there, and extremely grateful for Tere and everyone that made this event possible. So thank you. Um, you know, when Tere talked to me about this subject, the first thing I did was Google it, right? So the Oxford Dictionary defines faith as complete trust or confidence in someone or in something. So I thought about it and I said, yes, in order to have faith in something or in someone, first, you have to know that person or that event, right? I mean, there has to be a connection between you, yourself, and that other person or that other thing. And I believe that it has to inspire you in a good way. Like, it has to be something that you know and you feel that it will make you a better person. Okay. So it has to be something important for you. I don't think that's my opinion. Okay. But I don't think that you can have faith in something that is mundane, like that it doesn't touch your heart. That it's like, I have faith in my phone. I don't know, something like that. Uh, it has to, there has to be a connection, a true connection. So I also think that faith has to do with truth, with honesty, with connecting from your heart, truly. And I remember my first feelings of faith, and when I was very small, okay, when I was little girl. So I didn't think about it. It just came with my education. And I remember being honest with myself, like, this is me. Hi. This is everything good about me. And this is everything that I don't like. Okay. I think there has to be honesty to be so that a true connection can happen. So, as Tere said, I think faith is out of this world, this material, physical world that we're in. It's not something that we can prove with our five senses, with our physical eye and ear. It's like the saying says, you have to take a leap of faith. You have to jump. You have to leave this reality and be able to go beyond your normal mind, to go beyond your human heart, and to go beyond your beliefs and yourself, your ego. So I'm going to tell you a story that when I was thinking about this talk, it came into my mind. And then I talked it over with Tere, and she said that she liked the example. So here it goes. So first, when I was small, my faith was in a enlightened being, like a being that I thought was like greater, much, much, much greater, and out of reach of myself. But then I realized, now that I have studied, that that kind of feeling becomes uh, like a part of yourself. So then you can start um, creating that reality of faith outside this reality um, more often, and with other people and with other things that are closer to you. So I have 3 children. They are in the university. They attend university. And here in Buenos Aires, your kids live with you when they go to the university. So it's difficult to find your role as a mom, because you're not taking care of them anymore. You're more like living with them. You're sharing a house, happy house. But I mean, I am not there making the decisions. Okay. So a few months ago, my son, my 20-year-old son, came to us, my husband and I, and he was upset with himself, and he was sad. He was disappointed. He didn't say so, but I could read it in his face, okay? In his body language. So he said, I need help. And my husband and I were, wow, okay. What do you need? Because it doesn't happen often, you see. And if it does, it means it is something big. So watch out. So we were happy that he asked for help, but also very worried, right? I mean, my head was tack, 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 tack. So we talked about it, his problem. My husband is very good with the kids. So I was like watching this conversation between him and my son. They had developed an action plan so that he could go through his problem. And I was just watching, really. And just happy that he was making it so well, that he was having such a good conversation, okay? Because I knew how much he was worried. I knew how difficult this problem was for him, because it was difficult for me as a mother, you know. You don't want your kids to suffer, or you want them to help, but also it's their life. So you have to be careful, okay, to respect their decisions, but also be there for them. So I know it's hard in many ways. So I'm there watching, being there in this conversation. And at the end, my husband looked at my child and said, I trust you. I have faith in you. And at that moment, that instant, everything changed, because faith took us to another level of connection from our hearts. It took us to a place bigger than ourselves. And I mean, bigger in an expansion sense, like not only higher, but lower and to the right and to the left and front and back, like, and I I didn't see it with my physical eye, but I felt it really. It was like an instant, a fraction of an instant that I can explain it like a golden light just coming from my husband's love for his child, englobing the whole situation, putting my son in the light, and putting me, of course, because I was there. And when you take a leap of faith, you have to come out of your mini human things and stuff. Like, I know he had to overcome his worries about my son, and also my like my anger, okay, because I was also disappointed about how he had gotten in trouble. So he had to go beyond that feeling as a parent, beyond his worries, beyond his, I don't know, anger or disappointment. He had to take a leap out of his human form and go beyond, expand, to be able to shine that kind of love to our son. And I think faith is something that happens in the present moment. I mean, when he said that, of course, I knew that uh, it, it didn't change my son completely. Like, I know he will have trouble again. He's learning. He's child, semi-adult. He's 20, but he's learning. So it's not like now that he said that, I look at him and wow, he's in a golden light. Nah, he's still himself, okay? And still, we as parents are going to be there doing the job, uh, making sure that he takes the steps in the action plan. And still, I know, or I not that I know, but I don't know what the result will be. So faith is not about a result. And it's not about the past either. It has to do with the present moment. It has to do with that connection, with that love that takes you to a higher level and expands your being, your soul, your heart. And it makes you brighter in a way. Like, when you go a step up in your consciousness, it's like, poof, it opens and then it comes back, okay? When you have an insight, you're like, and then, okay, I'm my usual self again, but it's a little bit broader. And I think it has to do with that. It inspired us. Me as a mother, it gave me peace. It gave me love. It gave me trust. But it is a trust not in the result, because really, I think that he will have trouble with this in the future, maybe less. But he's learning. But I trust that he will try. I trust that he listened. And I trust that he felt that faith that my husband put in him. And it was like a kind of boost, like an energy that makes you move forward, makes you bigger, inspires you, makes you stronger. I could feel it. And it changed the present moment. from something normal to an experience that enriches, that made us all greater. Everything in the present moment, regardless of the past, of how many times he had failed my child, or how many times we had this talk as parents with him, or how we felt, and regardless of the result. I mean, I have faith. No, it was in the present moment, and it transformed everything. And I think that you go having those moments. To me, it's like a moment of inspiration, of being aware of the beauty and the light of the present moment, and being able in that moment to connect directly to something higher, broader, that makes me feel a kind of love that transforms myself and connects myself and makes me want to be greater for other people and for me.
Wow, thank you so much, Paz. So, as I was telling before, one of the things that happened when Paz shared some of the things she wanted to talk about, we saw that we had much in common and that we were both using a lot the word like magic when thinking about faith. For me, faith is something that it's more easily expressed with metaphors. For me also, it's like a way of living. It's like a warmth in my heart. It's like a big warm hug that gives me refuge and makes me feel safe. And I try to use metaphors because I feel most of the time faith for me, it's more like a feeling. And many times people ask me, how do I do to have faith? And really, I don't know, or maybe from the seed system, I would say giving faith to others will come back to you as faith for you. But for me, also as for Paz, was something that I had since I was very little. And I think that it's something that my parents taught me, especially my mom. And I'm so grateful to her for this. I have Francisco, if we can share, I want to share a picture of me and my mom. She always, I was like very little there. She always used to tell me in that moment of your life when you start being afraid of things, when you're a little kid, she always told me, don't be silly, don't be afraid. She kept repeating me and encouraging me, don't be afraid, don't be afraid. And then when I was older, one day she said, don't be afraid because you're never alone. And she kept telling me, you're never alone. So she gave me this sensation of being protected all the time. And this is such a beautiful gift to give to anybody. She was a very devoted Christian. And so she said, even in the darkest situations, remember, you're never alone. Okay, we can put the picture down. If not, I will keep crying. Okay, so I grew up and I kept feeding this sensation of being protected all the time. And I really, really, it's not something that I think. I feel I'm never alone. And sometimes this makes me more courageous. It's not that I feel courageous, but some friends tell me, wow, you're doing this, or you're going to retreat in a mountain. Like, aren't you afraid? And it's like, I'm not afraid. Deep inside, I know I'm not alone. And I really think we all have this. It's something that I feel, but I think there are beings that are all the time trying to help us, and they are looking after us. So the more you ask them for guidance and protection, the more you will feel them. So here is when the word magic comes in. I once read a verse that said, only those who believe in magic will be able to see it. And I think it's so true. I think believing in magic and also doing things like being brave to opening your heart takes you to this more magic place or magic world. It's like an attitude of curiosity, of innocence, like the innocence of the children, that they believe in fairies and they believe in this more magical world. And we usually start like losing this as we get older. So having faith for me is also like a state of openness of the heart. It's like a state of choosing to have more innocent eyes towards things. It's a process where we give up like the truth that the world tells us all the time. Like, this is true, this is true, this is happening. What Geshe-la teaches, like what the world, giving up what the world shows us to change it for an openness of the heart and a state where you don't hold back and you decide to love no matter what, and start looking and having faith in the world that you are planting with wisdom, having faith in what you are trying to do every day and working hard to maintain this vision of wisdom, and having faith that that will arise in your world, even if what they are showing you is different. And it also has to do a lot with what we teach at YSI, trying to find secret messages that are hidden around us all the time. And we are so living this life like so quickly and so busy all the time. It's like magic has no place in our agendas. And it's our responsibility to make this silence or this way of looking so that we can see this more magical world. And of course, once you feel or you see a little bit of it, even a tiny spark of magic, your faith starts growing more and more. and it's like a cycle, like a feedback process. Geshe-la teaches a practice that it's called Angel's Whispers. He said something like, whenever you have doubts or you need to resolve a problem, just ask for guidance and open a book or try to listen to the radio, and this angel whisper will come to you. So, as that beautiful story that Paz said about their family, having faith, it's a very beautiful way of living. And it doesn't mean that you are not going to have hard times or you're preventing yourself from painful experiences. It means that this faith protects and makes you remember this indestructible, joyful, empty part of you, that it's indestructible no matter how hard things can be around you. This place of love, this empty place of love and joy cannot be broken inside you. It's like a refuge. I was reading Rumi's poetry the other day. I love his poetry. I think he has this capacity of condensing so much wisdom in 2 lines. And I read one that said, the soul has been given ears to hear things that the mind does not understand. So I loved it. I think that faith has this quality of being a deeper understanding and connection with the divine, with the magic, with the things that we can't think about. And why not with emptiness? If Geshe-la always says, do you want to think about emptiness? Think of something that it's impossible for your human mind to think about. So how does faith relate with me in the sense of relating it with emptiness? How do I try to join them? Because sometimes it could feel like a contradiction, because we always teach that we are not in control of the present moment. There's no way we can affect it. Once the seed has ripened, there's nothing you can do about it. The only control you have is just in the attitude you have towards it. But it's already ripened. It's there. So how does faith come in this way of thinking? If we are at the mercy of the ripening of past seeds and with no control in the present moment. So in the Yoga Sutra, the word for faith is Shraddha. And Shraddha is also translated as conviction. Geshe-la teaches it as a logic-driven faith. Shraddha is not based in an emotion or a feeling. It is based on logic. In the things you know to be true. Not because just your teacher told you that it's true. Shraddha is the things you know to be true because you came to the realization yourself that it's true. So it's a faith based on logic, in a strong conviction. Is this like a contradiction with the other faith we were talking about? Or we could label them like the more feeling or emotion kind of faith and the more logic kind of faith. And for me, it's not that you have to choose between one of them. The beautiful thing is that they complement each other so perfectly that one makes the other one shine more. So combining both, the more feeling type of faith and the logic kind of faith, I found that faith for me has two ingredients. One is the sense of indestructible warm light, that it's ever present. It's like Paz said, a warm love. A love that it's not a love for someone or for something. It's just like a soft honey ready to be spread wherever you choose to put it. Faith is the awareness of that there is something more divine that cannot be harmed or distracted. And it's this empty space of myself that it's full of love and joy. And the second component of faith for me is this deep understanding of emptiness that I have to keep feeding and studying and remembering. And for me, remembering, it's a very important word, because if I remember about what my teachers taught me about emptiness, that becomes my ultimate protection. That becomes my faith. If I remember what I learned about seeds, I am able to use emptiness. I become like the alchemist or the magician that can change things and see them in a different world, in a different way. So faith is not something you just, oh, I have faith and I relax. Let's just have faith that the world will end in all the worlds, that there will be no more violence. I call it like a worker's faith. You have to work on it. You have to do certain things with certain kind of mind and wisdom, and also believing that someone else is helping you to get there. And of course, rejoicing about the good things you do at night, doing tartuk. And then having this faith that what you planted will come back to you in the future, because you understand this more logic kind of faith. And I know this is not easy. At least it's not easy for me. Most of the time, because I forget and I have to remember. And not remembering the teachings that I got and the concept that I learned, forgetting those concepts, it's the most harmful thing I can do for myself. It's like disempowering me, myself. And most of the time we are doing that. It's like forgetting about emptiness. It's like hiding our powers. It's like putting them down. It's like thinking we don't have them or not paying attention to them. But if we keep feeding this light of faith, it will keep growing and growing. And someday maybe this beautiful light will consume us. And there will be no distinction between what I call faith and myself, between me and that luminous light. Okay, so Paz and I talked that it was very nice. We would would like people to have some moments to ask questions or share. So now we will open the mic. If you have any doubts or want to share something, please do. Francisco, can you put both of us on screen, please? Don't be shy. There we go. Paz, do you want to add something? If not, I will say what Earl says. I can be in silence, no trouble.
I would like to know, Tere, if I can ask.
Yes.
So how would you say that if I want to put faith into practice, maybe this afternoon, I don't know, or tomorrow, how do I start? With what, or what's the first step? I mean, how can I experience it?
Well, I would suggest more or less what I said, like trying to go out to your day with a different sunglasses, like really trying, like as if you had red or pink sunglasses, really trying to see your day from a different perspective. Even if or better, if you're doing the things you do every day, like going to the supermarket or washing the dishes, to try to see how is it that it's us that we are putting the colors to the things that we do. It's us that we are labeling and putting the adjectives to everything that arises. And try to choose like a more loving and childish, I would say childish, like attitude, like trying to see magic, maybe in a tiny drop of soap as you wash your dishes. It's like, yes, that would be one of my answers, I think.
Thank you. I will try to.
Yes. They say if you keep doing the same things, you will get the same results. So I think changing something. And Karina had a question. Maybe you can answer it fast. And then how not to lose faith when you plant a lot of seeds, but it's not ripening.
That's
a good one.
Yes. Well, this is my answer, and it is my opinion. Okay, so then Tere can answer. You know, that question or that thing came into my mind because when I was thinking about faith, because faith, it is in the present moment. It is the awareness from your heart that you are connecting with something more than yourself. I mean, maybe you want to, you're visiting old people, and it's in the act of visiting the old people that you get the joy, you know, because you have, I think that the gift is to connect with the broader sense of what you're doing. You're helping someone or you're giving love to somebody else. And that act in this moment is bringing you joy. Then it will become a result, a very good one. And it's really nice. But if you connect from your heart to the other person's heart, in that moment, you can feel the joy in your heart. That is a gift. That is the leap of faith. To really connect to what you're doing, not thinking about the result or what it will bring you, but really knowing that that kind of seed is what will make you happy. And I think that faith is also letting go of the result. It will come in many forms. Faith comes in many forms. And I think that openness that Dede talks about, like being open to the kind of happiness that the day brings you every day, to have like a child's eyes and try to let go of your vision of the world, of how it should be, or how you want it to be, or the result that you want to get, and connect with what you're doing right now. And expanding your awareness. Like, wow, there's magic in a bubble of soap. I mean, it's magical. There's the sun coming in through the window. Wow. It is lightening my whole self. It's amazing. You know, I think that that's what I would do. And trust, because faith is also trust, that life will bring you what you need. Maybe not in the form that you're expecting or that your mind thinks it is the correct way, but it will bring you what you need. And it will make you very happy in the present moment and in the future.
Yeah, I think I don't have very much to add. I totally agree. For me, one of the most difficult things in life is expectations. Even in the smallest thing, like going to a movie, if you have high expectations, I usually see, then I don't like the movie. If I just choose one and I have zero expectations, I always come back and I say, whoa, that was a good movie. And it's all us. It's us in our mind building these rules that we think the outer world should appear to us in a certain way. And that is the color we are putting, like the sour honey of expectations instead of the sweet honey of letting go. And for me, it's like doing the things It's not a lazy faith, doing the things you have to do, but immediately surrendering. And also for me is asking these special beings to give me the eyes that will see, the eyes that will see what I have to see and not what I expected or wanted to see. It's a state of total surrendering to what life will bring you and just having the correct eyes or giving them your eyes to guide you. And usually what we take for granted, as Paz said, we take for granted our partners. We start forgetting all the virtues we saw in them because we get used to them. We take for granted the place where we work, and we forget that it's not normal to be working. Like, I have to remember, it's not normal to be working with so loving and wise people around me, and thinking about that. So yes, I think that is my advice, surrendering. Thank you for that question. Very beautiful. Let's see if we have another one. Oh. Okay, 5 more minutes. Or if someone wants to share, how do they live their faith?
Hola,
Hola.
¿hablo en castellano?
Yes, you have to change. Can she talk? That's my sister. Can she talk in Spanish? Karina, can she talk in Spanish?
Yes.
Or she has to change to the Spanish?
Ren, can you help with that?
You know how to talk in English.
Yes,
We don't
I
have
know how to
Spanish
talk in English.
translation.
I'll try.
Oh, there you are. Well,
It
she's
is very...
one of my teachers, my first teachers, of course.
No, she's my teacher. Well, I just wanted to say thank you so much. Thank you so much for your loving kindness of Geshe-la and all the people. Please keep on teaching. And I try to resume something I think about faith. I think you cannot love what you don't know. So if you want to have faith, just sit down and sit for your teachers. And then your faith will come. Just try to know them first. And the faith will be given. So you cannot love what you don't know. And then you cannot give what you don't have. So that is the action, no? Love others because you have you give inside what you are. You give to others what you are. So you cannot give others what you are not. So that is you love what you know and you give what you have because you love. That is. So thank you so much.
Oh, Adi, te quiero.
Gracias.
Gracias, Feli. Qué lindo
Acá estoy
verte.
con Inti, que les manda un beso. Las quiero,
Ándale.
gracias.
Okay, this is like a family reunion suddenly. Family and friends for coffee. Okay, and that is my other sister putting hearts in the chat. Okay. So if no one else wants to share anything, just to close this talk, thank you again for YSI for doing these events. thank you all of you for joining, because as Paz said, there wouldn't be teachers if we wouldn't have students. And we are all like a cycle. Students and teachers, we're all the same. We are all learning. And I hope that you take from this talk like this kind of weightless and more childish, magical way of living. My last words will be, you're never alone, as my mom told me. You're never alone. Even when you make yourself alone, you're not alone. So trust in these beings that already reached the goal of yoga. If they had to work hard, loving others to get there, it would be so illogical, not logical, once they got there, not still be helping us. So thank you so much. Thank you, Paz, again. Thank you, everybody.